Welcome back to the channel. My name's Stephen Howson, and this is 5 things that we learned as Manchester United fell to Aston Villa at Old Trafford yesterday. Number 1 then, ruthlessness. Manchester United showed a bit of a lack of ruthlessness this last couple of weeks. We've had over 50 shots across 2 games, come away with 0 goals scored. Yesterday again against Aston Villa, that was another symptom of what we saw. Too many shots, too many hero shots, not enough worked into the box, not enough where we could have, I mean, put it this way, we had 28 shots. However, of those 28 shots, we still only came out with an expected goal difference of like 1.79. And the majority of that 7.9 is because you just had a penalty. So essentially in those 28 shots, we probably should have scored once. That means that we're taking poorly selected shots. And some players had a lot of shots in that as well. It's just abjectly not good enough. There has to be a ruthlessness. United are creating these opportunities. We're choosing the wrong time to shoot. We are choosing the wrong time to pull the trigger. We are not taking it close enough to the goal. We're not making enough room for ourselves. Is that because we are slow getting to the final third? Is that because we are predictable in our build-up? Could it be a combination of those things? The bottom line is, we've had over 50 shots, and I haven't got a single goal to show for it, and that's not good enough. Number 2, United have hired a set-piece coach, and I will give him this. We haven't scored from him yet, but going forward, Manchester United look organised, at least, and it looks like we've got a plan for set-pieces. However, we concede from set-pieces and look more vulnerable at set pieces more now than we ever did previously. Now, I know this guy's got his work cut out. He's coming into the biggest club in the world, probably one of the clubs under the most scrutiny in world football as well. When you look at the rest of the top 4, what's going on, all of the management and all of the staff involved in there have all won something at those clubs. So they're all in a little bit of a safer area than what we've got in our current management and setup. I thought it was a coaching issue last season, and they've addressed that by bringing a guy in. The pressure is on that guy to be able to deliver something, because that is his one sole job. Fix up at set pieces. Because as you're coming against teams that maybe aren't as good as you, aren't as strong as you, a set piece is a phenomenal opportunity to try and get on the score sheet. And as we saw against Aston Villa, you get on the score sheet, particularly late on in a game, you can hold on for 3 points. That's why there's so many upsets in football, because it's such a low-scoring game. Number 3, injuries. Now, United have picked up injuries to 2 first-choice players there in Maguire and in Shaw, and it probably couldn't have come to 2 worse players at the moment for Manchester United. There is no one ready, and we saw this with Tellez on Wednesday night, nobody ready to step up and become left-back from Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's not had the greatest start to the season. He's certainly not replicated the form that we saw from him the last 6 months of last season. But there's no one that can come close to the level that he's sort of hit lately. And I think it was right to play him back into form. I hope his injury is not a serious one and he can get back into form and get back into the starting 11 quickly, because I don't have the faith that Delo is the man to deliver whatever it is that United are looking for in a left-back. And the injury to Maguire, again, we saw on Wednesday night, the backups just aren't of the same standard as the first team. You can have your own opinions on Maguire, whether he was worth 80 million or not. He's the top centre-half. He's one of the best centre-halves in the league. And losing him is not going to make us better defensively. That is an issue for us. I thought they targeted him a little bit yesterday. I thought they put Ollie Watkins on him. I thought they chose to press him, and they hit him with the right sort of areas. And obviously, it was nearly a forced error as he played it back to De Gea, and De Gea essentially nearly ended up with an assist on the back of it. He's not infallible. There are issues in his game. He isn't, he's not Vidic. But he's better than Baye, Lindelof, or God forbid Phil Jones if he has to come in. Number 4, passing. Now, pass completion in and of itself is not anything, actually. But it is an indicator of what you've been doing on the ball. And for me, one of the things that I very much like to look at is not how many passes you complete, because that alone isn't anything. But if you're... it's position specific. I'll give you an example. Bruno Fernanes had a 66% pass completion. You go, oh my God, that's terrible. Yeah, it is. However, Bruno Fernanes created 10 chances. 10 in a game, which is, quite frankly, ridiculous, right? Varane had a 75% completion. Normally, your centre-halves are in the 90s. 92, 93, 95% you're going to see from your centre-halves because they're playing the easiest balls. A centre-half is generally passing to his full-back, passing it inside, or passing it to his number 6, occasionally passing it back to the goalkeeper. And you want them to be hovering around the 95 to 100% sort of mark because if they're dropping balls, you're in the shit usually. Now, Varane yesterday had a 75% pass completion, as did Pogba, as did like Fred and many others in the squad or there or thereabouts. The issue with Varane dropping him is not because he was making chances, he was maybe trying to things in the final third or anything like that. Varane was losing possession in the back line. He was dropping sloppy touches, he was playing poor balls that got cut out or that didn't quite make it to their man. Now, this isn't a slight on Varane, I think he's world class. He didn't have a world class performance yesterday. Now, when you pair this with the fact that, yes, Maguire picked up an injury and maybe we chose to go nowhere near him while we was hoping that he would come back from that injury. But we only put Maguire on the ball 17 times, or he only managed to make 17 passes. So did that mean that they completely cut the option out of Maguire? Did they press Maguire too much or mark Maguire too much, forcing us to go through Varane, thinking that we maybe did they set a pressing trap up in there? I don't know what they did. I've got to watch it back to try and figure out why Varane was so poor. But he was poor with his passing, as were many others. And it's the location of where he's been dropping passes is an issue for me. United are a team that has to build up through the back because the distribution of De Gea is awful. So United find themselves in a sticky area with a couple of different things, and passing out is certainly one of them. And I hope Varane would come in and almost be like a magic pill for this. And do you know what? He's been pretty good, but wasn't the case against Villa. And number 5, the pressure is on Ole. No shocks here whatsoever. The pressure is absolutely now on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. When you make a losing start to the group game in the Champions League, meaning that we've probably got to now win 4 out of 5 of the remaining games. When you exit the cup in the first round against West Ham midweek, and when you drop 5 points in the league, how can anyone say the pressure can't be on you in this circumstance? The pressure is well and truly on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And that's not to dismiss anything that he's done up till now. I think the job that he's done up till now has been acceptable. Not sensational, not brilliant, not terrible, acceptable. And the reason it's neither of those things, he's achieved something that the 2 previous amazing managers, at least on CV level, couldn't achieve, which was the top 4 finishes. He's managed to do that whilst changing the entire makeup of the team. When you look at the starting 11 when he joined and look at the starting 11 that he's created, it's a world of difference. He himself has changed the expectation of Manchester United fans. I'm seeing people very seriously say if he doesn't win the Champions League or the league this season, then he has to go, which is a ludicrous thing to say, by the way, when we are nowhere near favourites in either of those things. I think you could say he has to challenge for those things. I don't think he'd be miles off in the Champions League or in the Premier League and keep his job. I think if he challenges for those things, I think he has to be given another opportunity to keep continually developing what he's done. But there has to be continual development. You are judged on the trophies that you win. I put to a few people last week, would you rather be in the situation that Arsenal are in or the situation that United are in? Because Arteta's won a trophy. Does that mean he's doing a great job? Trophies are obviously a part of what we're here for football for, but there's a progression that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is completing and is managing to do, which is undeniable. He will be judged, and he should be judged on our performance this season. I don't think we're capable of winning the league, but I would love to see us be in a position to pounce if someone else balls it up. If Chelsea or City are unable to maybe put a real run together, they pick up an injury, they drop points that they shouldn't have dropped, can we be there to capitalise? The first 5 weeks suggest we won't. And that's the disappointing thing. And Ole should be and will be judged, and judged harshly, if we fail to continually progress and if we fail to look like competitors going forward. There is a hell of a lot of work to be done. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.